Welcome to the Doggy Dojo. My name is Trevor Smith, and we are going to cover two awesome and amazing games with your canine companion. And if you stay tuned to the end of the video, you will get a bonus dog agility game that was so awesome. I can't wait to share it with you. The first game you're going to do with your dog is take one jump. One jump, set up the bar, pretty low height. If your dog normally jumps like say 16, put it down to like 12 in the beginning, and then maybe see, depending on how they do, move it up to actual height of your dog that they usually jump at. But you want your dog to be successful at first, but don't let them hover in this low jump area too long. But you're gonna take one jump, you're gonna sit at the side of the jump, and you'll line them up on one side and pretty close to the bar because you want them to know how to pop with their rear end over the top of the bar. Now when doing this first game, you need to make sure that your dog is getting success, and if they start knocking the bar, just start to adjust the height of it. And even sometimes if you have to, just take one side, the side closest to you, and drop it down lower and make your bar a little bit slanted. So instead of going just to straight down from 16 to 12, you can actually put one side that's farthest away from you at 16 and the other side of it down to 12. Just like the veto game that I showed you earlier, you can check out the video right here. You're going to reward the dog from going to the left side, to the right side, and back and forth, and hopping over and over again. Jade, on the other end, when she gets going and gets speed, she pulls from her front. And this game right here really teaches your dog to push from the rear, particularly on turns. And that's where a lot of dogs' bars knock, is when they're on a turn or when they don't know where they're supposed to go. It's not always their fault. They just need to get conditioning in their rear end and then their body to be able to know how to do the jump properly, particularly on a turn or at high speed. Eventually you're going to stand up and not just be sitting there, and so the dog starts to see a different sight picture, but overall your dog will get better and better at this game. And in a future video I'll show you the next step to this particular game. The second game you're going to do with your dog to help them be successful is going to be a jump shoot. You're going to take 3 jumps pretty close together, depending on how your dog goes through it, because every dog has kind of a different jumping form, and this is going to help improve upon it. You may have to adjust this length. You're gonna line your dog up on one side and get them into a sit, and you're gonna put them pretty close to the jump, because basically what you're trying to achieve with your dog is them to focus on using their rear end to pop over the jump. And why this is so important is you have to get a dog to learn how to use their rear end to clear a jump bar, because particularly on tight turns, your dog has to pop over the jump, and if they hit it flat, they usually hit the wing, or their toe will hit the bar, or their tail. And so this is something that's incredibly important to teach your dog to jump over the 3 jumps. First off, you're gonna line your dog up at the front, close to the jump, and then you put them into a stay and get to about the second jump. You're gonna release them, and when they come towards you, you're going to mark the behavior and then reward. Now you notice I said release them, so don't use like the word jump or hop or whatever you usually tell the dog to do to get over the jump. Just use a release word like break or release or free to get them to start the jump shoot. This curling towards you and getting reinforcement towards you also will start to help them learn how to manage their body in these tight situations and not knock the bar. Now at this point you may be asking yourself, what happens if my dog knocks the bar? Well, you definitely aren't going to reinforce them at this point, but you don't have to get angry at them either or upset. You're just going to reset. What your dog does well with hitting the first 2 just fine, start to see if you can get them to go over all 3 jumps. Once again, if your dog makes a mistake, knocks a bar, just reset the bars, head back to the top, no treats, no harm, no foul, just no reward. And then try again. Your dog will eventually get more smooth about this, and you'll know where to set the jumps apart. Of course, you want to do what's called bounce jumping when doing this. They shouldn't be able to take more than like a single stride through there. And what you're going to start to see is you're going to see your dog start to push from the rear end to get over the jumps. All right, you guys, now that you've stuck around towards the end, I have this bonus game for dog agility. It's so good. It's great for handling. It's great for teaching your dog how to do tight turns and how to help you set proper lines. Like we talked about before, it's not always just about the conditioning of the dog, but also our handling and telling the dog what to do and how to do it properly. This goes through for any of the dog agility obstacles or any type of course that you're doing. You need to know how to set your dog's lines going forward and backwards. So this exercise, there's a barrel in the middle, and it could be almost anything right in the middle, but this nice big circular barrel helps you kind of really direct the dog to the correct side of the barrel. And then you have 4 cones, like in a square around the barrel. And the pattern is cone, barrel, cone, barrel, cone, barrel. For some, going clockwise around this pattern and stepping into your dog's path is easier, while others going counterclockwise and moving away or pulling your dog to the path is harder. So it just depends on you and your dog. And it's a really great game and dogs just love it. And now Jade, we're doing another game that we'll show you in a future video called Don't Knock the Upright. We've noticed that she does a really great tight turn around the barrel and around the cone, but almost to the point where she's knocking into it. The problem with this is that when you do a tight turn around a jump, particularly a wing jump or even just a wingless jump, your dog has a tendency to knock over the jump. Our dog Jade, this is a huge thing too. So whether it's her tail hitting the wing or her tail hitting the bar, we have to teach her not to knock this over. Thanks for joining here on the Doggy Dojo. If you have any questions or comments on these games, if you want to learn more and you can't wait for the next step to all these dog training games, or if you really enjoy learning more about dog agility or dog diving or any other dog sport, subscribe to the Doggy Dojo down below. And don't forget to hit that bell so that you don't miss a single video from the Doggy Dojo. Thanks for joining. As always, have some fun with your dogs, and we'll see you all next time.